All right.
Clap it.
Clap.
He just said that.
I knew you were going to do that.
Just leave it for now.
On the shot.
Just
Your coffee.
It was. We are at the Wind Up San Francisco show 2024 here with James.
Hey.
James, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's exciting to be here. So this show is different from previous years.
Yeah.
In a lot of more positive ways.
Yeah.
Bigger, better.
Yeah.
How is it? How's the show for you?
It's been great. Everybody has been really happy with the new space that we're in. We have more people in the space than ever before. We're literally on the bay. You can see the Golden Gate Bridge. You can see Alcatraz from here. You can even see sea lions cruising around outside. So it's a totally different experience, and everybody's really enjoying it.
Awesome. One of my personal favorites was always New York. Naturally, is like home stomping grounds.
Sure.
How do you compare this to New York?
See, I'm a little partial because I'm a Californian, so
Yeah.
I think this is the best show. It's outdoors, it's sunny, it's nice and cool out here during this time of the year. So I like this because it's a little bit more of an outdoorsy feel with the San Francisco Bay in the background. But New York has its own flavor. It's different, and that's technically our biggest show.
Yeah.
But this one's starting to rival it as far as how many people come.
Yeah, I'm seeing it's like neck and neck. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll be in a bigger venue this year for New York City, so we'll see how it goes. But what's great about all these events is all the people are exactly the same. They're a bunch of watch people who love watches and love to come see people like you.
Have you noticed that the enthusiasts now that come to the shows, that come and ask questions, they ask different questions, they know more, they're looking for more in-depth knowledge about the watches and the people?
Yeah, one of the best things, and I warn new brands, you've been here since the beginning back in 2015, but a lot of brands are sometimes shocked at how direct people are. They're direct, but they're nice. So they'll give you the product feedback that you need to make a good decision about your current products and your future product portfolio, because these are the people that influence your products, and because they love them more than anybody else that you're going to come in contact with.
Yeah, I've definitely seen super nice people, especially California. New York is also nice, a little bit more rough around the edges.
Sometimes, sure.
Yeah. Have you seen a lot of brands releasing new products here at the shows too? Like in sequence?
Every year, more and more people release more products at Wind Up. Wind Up is the place to release your products, and we're really happy about that. We're flattered by it, but we do think it's the best place to do it because you're going to see it in person. I myself was part of a launch today that nobody else got to see except for the people attending the show.
No way.
So it's not even out yet. It won't be out for another couple weeks, but we love to see people do that.
Yeah. Anything new that we have to look forward to in future shows?
So we are doing the food trucks now. Not at every one, but it's back in San Francisco. We also have a bar that wasn't around last year, but it's back for this year.
Okay.
Because of the space constraints, we couldn't do it last year, but we're expanding, so we're adding more. You're going to see more launches. You're going to see more workshops, panels, all sorts of different options that when you're in the space, it's not just talking to the brands, you're going to actually be able to interact and talk about things more so than just the product, but actual technical details of photography too.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of newness, I noticed that there's a lot more EDC products.
That's right, there is. Thank you for noticing that.
Yeah.
We're actually expanding that out a lot. What we found is that a lot of the people that come to this fair, a lot of people that like watches, they like EDC items too. So every fair we've added more and more. We're starting to work with Carryology and the team there, and you saw them actually release a brand new product here, actually 2 new products here within the show, and they'll be back in our future shows too, and you'll actually see more brands too come to the show.
Amazing. Okay. Last quick question.
Sure.
What's your favorite Brew watch?
My favorite Brew watch. Well, I have more than one.
I know.
And aside from our watches that we've worked on together, I think Technicolor.
Technicolor, that's a good one.
Technicolor is probably the one. Still haven't worn it. It's still fresh in the box.
I know.
You signed it, and I think I'll leave it that way because I like it. It's kind of like a keepsake memory of you and me back in San Francisco in 2019.
Yeah, it was like four years ago. About
That's my favorite watch. I mean, I still pick up your watches. I probably have 5 now.
You have a full collection.
That. But that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
There's something about that one. It was hard to get at the beginning.
Yes.
But now that was that first edition.
And obviously it's not all about Brew, and we're here on our podcast, but you're seeing the growth and progression of all these brands, but in a large way, it's in tandem with Worn and Wound. So how does it feel to see that progression in parallel to Worn and Wound at these shows through the years?
So this show, our company, our readership is nothing without the people that come to it.
Yeah.
And I think you know that. We
Yeah.
focus on the people first that come to this fair, and as well as the sponsors and the brands that come to represent while they're here. But it's really about making sure that the people here are comfortable. It's open. It's always been free. It always will be free. And we want you to have a good time, and we want you to come back more than one day. And hopefully you can sit outside, have something to eat, talk with some brands, and then go home at the end of the day. And if you decide to come back the next day, we're happy to see you again.
Yeah, well, I see nothing but smiles, happy
right.
people. We had a couple of people actually bring us 2 pizza pies. They're joking like,
Wow.
these are the best pizza spots to go. And we're like, oh, great, we put those notes down.
Yeah.
And then the next day they come with 2 giant pizza pies from that restaurant.
Right.
And it's pretty cool to see that you've cultivated a collector group of enthusiasts that are so positive and so generous.
Yeah.
You know, their time, their knowledge, and just, you know, being here.
I'm glad you noticed that, because when it comes to watches, we're all the same. And
Yeah.
that's what's nice, is that at the end of the day, we can argue with each other about watches all day long.
Yeah.
And it's fun and it's interesting and it's a little bit of escape, because it's the items that we wear every day.
Yeah.
But we can all disagree or agree on something, but it's still just a watch at the end of the day.
That's it. Cool. It's the people.
Yeah.
Any final words? We're gonna have to pack up at the wind up in a
Yeah, I
few
think we're
moments.
actually closing right now.
We have to close up.
We're going
but
to close up and go immediately to Chicago. That's what
it.
we're going to do next.
We're
No,
shooting
that's-
off, and then we'll zip to Chicago.
That's right. Just remember, we're going to Chicago in July.
Yes.
You're going to be there.
I will be
so
there.
we'll see you again. And then,
Yes.
of course, we have New York in October.
Yes.
And we're hoping that we can add something new soon.
That would be cool to see. All right. Well, James, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for putting this together with the team at Worn and
course,
Wound,
of course.
and excited to be here.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
Until next one.
See you soon.
All right. Thank you, James.
Bye.
You don't look like Nelly.
A lot of people say, Calhoun who?
Oh boy.
So, you can talk about the show, you can talk about...
I remember my first Brew Watch. It made me feel like a little boy. I was joyful and I was...
B-roll.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
all recording.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's already been captured.
When I first saw John's father, I said, he looks a lot like John. Then it turned out it was John and it was AI. Yeah, it's been an incredible show. It's our first year in the new venue. I think we're gonna stay. We like it. Natural light, San Francisco, seeing Brew Watches. You guys were full the whole time. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Saw good traffic come through, and I know we got a lookbook coming up on the site for a recent release.
I think
Anytime.
it just went live.
Maybe now.
Yes.
Well,
Actually, I heard.
if you can't see me, I'm grinning.
Okay.
That's my teeth trying to smile on the pickup. Yeah, we love working with Brew and the other 89, 93 brands that were here
So
this year.
was there 93 brands here?
I think 94 was the final count.
Wow.
In San Francisco, we had like 60 last year.
That's
so
such a huge jump.
the energy, the interest from the brands, and also from the people in the Bay has been super fun.
Was there any good comments that like you're going to take away from this event?
I think that we are not without some challenges of coming into a new venue and figure it out, but I think everyone, new brands had a great time, and we're really happy about the space and the location. So I think that's something that we can feel really good about, and we love being in San Francisco, and I think we'll keep coming back. And
That's awesome.
to have this space, where we are right now, there's some more room to grow as well in the specific venue. So, weather was good, the rain day was fine, just put more people inside, right?
It
so
did.
I thought that all of that went really well. And
We got food trucks outside. There's
food
a
trucks
farmer's
were
market
good.
today.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, it's great to be able to do this in San Francisco and see how much community there is, and to be in the Golden State with some sunshine is also fun. And yeah, I think some of the off events. There's the watch fair by day, but there's also meetups all night, and it was fun to kind of reconnect with the community after the crowd goes home as well. We had
Any
a lot
plans
of good.
after the event today?
I think personally, I'm probably going to catch up with some of my friends who are in the area, but I know there's always meetups at Wind Up, and it goes a lot after the doors close. There's fun stuff to do.
Yeah. I wonder what the breakdown's going to be like. So now we've just increased the event 30%.
Yeah,
So you got
essentially.
94 brands that have to break down.
It's going to be okay. I mean, it was one of the cool things about the venue was the natural light too.
Yes.
So in the past, it was kind of a must to add a gooseneck and make sure that everybody's table is getting natural light. And we didn't have to do that this year because everyone was stoked. I mean, it was just showing in that. And
It's gorgeous.
for all the brands that don't have brick and mortar spaces, this fair is so important because they get to meet their customers. People get to see the product live, and so that, in my mind, is going to make cleanup go a little better. We don't have to take down a bunch of lamps this time, and I think generally, the Fort Mason staff has been great, super helpful with all of it, and we're just now we're thinking about Chicago, right? It's going to be super fun, July 12th through the 14th.
Okay.
And, that's the only spot that we didn't move to a bigger venue this year. New York's going to be in a big spot too. And,
Oh my God, yeah, I heard about that.
so I think we're definitely trying to push more than 90 brands there. And with the EDC push and we're doing a lot more as Worn and Wound this year. And Brew's always been a great partner. Yeah, I think, whether it's straps that we're partnering with or something further like pens and knives, and all the Carryology partnership has been really fun this year. I think New York's going to be a huge hit. Chicago's going to be a great time as well, and we're going to look forward to working with you for the whole year.
I'm here for it.
We
It's gonna be
got
fun.
the Brew and Worn and Wound relationship is strong. We love partnering together.
Well, it started there from the beginning. Like when I had my lift off, it was with Worn and Wound.
It's been fun. Yeah, and how high you've flown.
Oh my gosh,
fun to see.
all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is a good time.
It's going to be a big year for the enthusiast community, for watches, for Brew and Worn and Wound, I think, as well.
Well, unbrew related,
Okay.
is there any designs, whether it's EDC, watches, this, that, or the other, that catches your attention these days?
It's fun for me. I mean, and Kyle and Nelly are on the partnerships team too, so we get inquiries, we get to reach out when we're filling.
Yeah.
It's just so fun to see who's doing different stuff. I know Braver, I thought, was doing really cool stuff with their bicycle tour inspired collections.
Oh, yeah.
March Lab has done fun stuff,
So nice.
a lot of green for March, and Sutcliffe Hansen is another brand that's the wristwatch revival guy, has kind of turned into watch repair kits, and then they had some vintage pieces as well. So those are some standouts, but I'm sure I'm letting some people down by not remembering them.
There's too many to remember.
94 brands.
You're
and
doing
we
great.
like working with all of them,
Naturally. But it's cool because you get to see all these brands before anyone else does.
Yeah,
A lot of the
yeah.
time. Do you ever see these brands and say to yourself, I have an expectation for where they'll go in their next few years? And do you ever get surprised with where they actually progress to?
Sure, and it's fun to see who kind of redesigns, their original model, or who's stretching. I mean, even someone like Strom from Norway, who's doing these incredible designs, kind of volcanic inspired.
Styles, yeah.
The new piece that they're gonna do, they said, is about a deep glacial crack, and so for someone who's made such a unique dial design to then do something else that's incredible and shattering, it's really exciting to see. From the EDC side, it's been fun to see Topo come in. It was fun to have Leica,
Yes.
Camera West was a huge partner as well.
Right.
So being able to come out, I mean, we did this article on Worn and Wound about how we're expanding our mission this year, trying to think about different vertical enthusiast communities that we can kind of relate to and connect with. So I mean, having Carryology come, the meetup that they did was kind of super packed.
I saw the line. It was running around the entire event. I said, what's going on? Everybody, Carryology. Oh, okay.
Super fun.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good fair to kind of come out swinging with those expanded kind of permission slips that we've been given by the audience. And hopefully you got to see some of that come in, and just bringing more people in, more brands, and making sure that everyone still feels noticed, and getting their time in the sun is what we like to balance. But in a venue like this, it's easy to get sunlight.
It's incredible. yeah, definitely.
What about you? What can people expect for Brew in 2024?
Ooh, good question. Much more color.
Good. Okay.
So, staying true to the roots. Keeping true to the silhouette. The story, timing, an espresso shot, or some brewing method in between. But more color.
Okay.
And I feel, and tell me if you agree, the longer we do this, we kind of feel a little bit more bold and brave to lean into it, right? And I think we feel that way for a few reasons. For me, I could say at least I've done designs in the past, and I've done them to the truest form of what I think works.
Sure.
And when people accept it, it kind of makes you braver to lean into it.
Yeah.
And so I notice people, for instance, they like the Brew metric retro dial.
Yeah.
That's the one that the article was on.
Yep. Yeah.
With all those photos that Kat took.
Yeah.
And I said, well, if people love this so much, and I did, of course, too, how do I add more color in a way that makes sense, of course?
Fun.
So I'm having like these bright, rich oranges and teals and yellow, like crazy colors. It looks like you went into like an 80s arcade.
Fun.
You just took the pinball machine and you just squeezed it for all its color into a watch.
I love it.
And so for me, this year, because time moves fast, and then next year is much more color, much more graphics on the watch.
Yeah.
But in a way where it's distinctive and different, not just for the sake of being different, but different in a way that people will say, like, hey, that's a Brew watch.
Right.
And for me, that's huge.
I think, Kyle, our head of partnerships, always talks about, what would a Nike hotel look like? Or when you have that strong brand like Brew does, you can do something very different, but still under your umbrella of sort of the brand. And I think that you've done that very well. And for that reason, I'm excited to see what new colors could do under that brand Brew umbrella.
It's tough because you want to stay new and refreshing, but you also want to harp on your family that you've kind of built over the years.
Totally.
Yeah.
What about EDC stuff? Could we see a Brew something else beyond watches?
Imagine if there was and through the grapevine I've heard things. Imagine if there was like a wall clock or a desk clock.
Something else. Clock.
I think clocks are cool. Pens are nice. There's a lot of them.
I'm a pen. I think pens I also can have my strong opinions about. You know?
I mean, like, it's nothing off crazy, but we got a little tactical.
I love this. Yeah,
tactile
turn with the side bolt.
Yeah, because you need a little something.
These are cool.
They're fun.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like keeping your back pocket just in case.
You'd be right at home in a coffee shop.
Yeah, but pens are cool. Are they?
I love
any pens that you love?
I mean, Pilot G205 is what I can run. Green ink if I get my absolute preference, but
green ink.
The 0.5. I'm a doodler by nature, so I love
What do you doodle?
Just kind of silly tongue-in-cheek slice of life pieces.
Oh, okay.
Be right at home in the New York Times. You heard it here first.
Really?
No, I haven't been in it yet. But
I mean,
just have an Instagram.
You?
No,
not yet.
We'll keep thinking about it. With the right pen, you can do anything.
Okay.
So
with the right pen, you can do anything.
That's the tagline.
That's going to be the tagline, and then it'll be your doodle in the New York Times.
That sounds good.
I like that.
I can't wait. Yeah. So this year's going to be a blast. I think. We'll be following the Brew arc as it continues to rise.
Well, we're in such a good position to actually do these things, right?
Yeah.
We have the opportunity to freely design what we want as we want, but now we have such an amazing platform to do it, right?
Yes. I mean, how many brick and mortar stores are there? And we have brands that, will go through the retailer route, but being able to do something for a weekend, I think, really captures how much energy we always have and want to bring to our designs. I feel like it's a spark and feels like it's something that you get to be a part of for a weekend, and maybe that could carry you further, when we go back on Monday or we go back on Tuesday to our regular lives. Are you running on
straight adrenaline right now?
It's a lot of coffee, it's a lot of Diet Coke, and but we do it and we try to make sure everyone's balancing and not going too wild on our off hours.
And when you get back, let's say you're in the office Monday or whenever the Monday is. Yeah. What's it like? Are you just getting like waves of praise?
Well, it's fun.
What happens?
As we know that site traffic is high and we know that our audience has grown, so we get fired up. We're going to come back and be even more excited to talk about new brands and new releases and keep pushing in the same way. Worn and Wound, the crowd is so welcoming, and the enthusiast community that, whatever part we've continued to do our part to grow, it's always kind and it's always, forgiving if forgiveness is needed, but certainly welcoming and approachable. And as you said, I think for the rest of the year we're going to be leaning into what we love to do, knowing that we have the permission slip from our audience to keep doing it.
That's it. Yeah. I love that confidence.
I think that'll be fun. So let's be confident in 2024. How about it, Don?
Yes. Good stuff.
I mean, I've said before, I came in pretty green to the world of watches, but through Kyle and with him and Worn and Wound in general, it's been fun
Heck yeah.
to kind of figure out what I like and what is going to stick with me. And we get so many cool people that it's just easy to be excited.
Has your perception changed from like day one to now? Like how long
Sure.
has it been?
Oh my gosh, certainly. I think I started at Worn and Wound in April, and I mean, this is a funny story, but I remember in my interview I told Blake about the watch that I found at a thrift store that was like Any Digi Casio something, and how cool, and gold dial. And I remember Blake turning to me and going, yeah, we knew at some point we need to hire someone that didn't know a lot about watches.
Do you think that was a good thing?
And it was good. I mean, I hope it's fresh, and it's, you know, it's always good to bring new energy and kind of see it from the outsider's perspective. But, you know, what I can talk a bit more about movements, I can talk more about dial design and different shapes, and so it's fun to build an opinion and kind of be able to see what you like and what's better for somebody else. I think all of that's been fun, and just kind of the way that I've learned at Worn and Wound has been super cool too. You know, it's very, with, you know, the quick release franchise or any of these things, it's fun to be able to kind of turn something around. They say you retain 90% of what you teach, right? And so it's fun to be able to build these things and think about how we can bring in a reader into a new brand or a new release that they haven't seen before, and it helps me kind of get more of a depth of understanding for all the watches and in the watch world.
You feel like you're still learning and soaking up a lot
Every
of
day. Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes we'll go help with point of sale for some of these brands, and it is very humbling to remember that you know, the community knows a lot, and they love asking the very detail-oriented questions. So on the fly, I'm learning as well, going to product pages and checking specs and stuff. So it's fun. I mean, we never stop learning, and especially here where so many people are innovating and coming up with other stuff, it's fun to learn by seeing and learn by doing.
Did anybody catch you off guard at the show? Just like,
okay, sure, let me think about it. I mean, certainly some of the brands that we've been running, G-Shock, for example, has such a deep collection of watches and has been doing it for so long that people will come up with their, you know, one-of-one pieces or some limited edition and want to start talking about that. And fortunately, they have a great team as well, and people who maybe know the brand history a little deeper than I do. And so, as I said, everyone's friendly, and we can bring someone in when we don't know something. Asking for help is a powerful leadership trait, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, it's fun when someone comes in with some 20-plus-year-old piece and wants to talk about it, and it gives me that opportunity to get a little bit more love for the brand and their history.
Yeah. Where do you find yourself most at the show? Like, are you at one section of the show? Are you floating?
Yeah, I think in a perfect world, I get to problem solve the different pieces that are coming up. We do have, you know, we'll help brands run point of sale, so I've been behind the counter for a couple pieces and a couple brands. But yeah, there's always so much to do, and especially as we get more brands in, there's, you know, surprises that happen with anyone who's in event production knows that you try to anticipate as much as you can, and then reality is a whole different day. But it's been super fun, and yeah, I think the crowd, as much as we're on our feet all day, we get a lot of energy from how much enthusiasm people have.
Oh yeah,
coming here. I'm sure you feel the same.
I am so psyched. I am also so exhausted.
Yes, yeah, it's
been 3 long, intense days.
When are you heading back? Are you heading back tomorrow?
Tomorrow early. Yeah. We'll unwind after today.
We'll unwind. We'll wind down. All of the puns.
Yes.
And
but it was good.
It was super fun. San Francisco's great. Have some great friends here that I got to see.
Yeah.
And family as well. So.
This is literally, and I'm not just saying this for now, one of my favorite wind-up shows.
Good.
To this
Excellent.
date.
Yeah.
All these years, this was the one.
This was, I mean, just a little calmer, you know. I think we always are kind of running out of elbow room as we continue to grow. And so what brands did you hate this year? No,
well, I'm so glad you asked.
Who's done me wrong in the last 10 years?
I'll tell you, this guy.
No one. The answer's no one. We love everybody.
All right, I'm erasing the mental list I just created.
I'm trying to think. It's been great. It's been super fun.
This is actually an employee review.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got Blake in. Blake, come out from behind the counter, please.
He's like marking XXX. Dude, you did so good this show. I saw
It was
you.
fun.
You're
Thank you.
managing
We
so
were
much.
flying. Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's fun, and as much as we like going out, it is good to appreciate the hotel bed in the hotel.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's like a mini vacation.
We were staying.
You earned it.
Staying rested, and I got great insoles. You know, that's
let
what
me
makes
see.
or breaks.
Whoa, I just
It's
realized
just
you-
Dr. Scholl's.
Yeah, but you got like herringbone pants
Oh,
too.
look at these! I actually got
You
these.
got a whole outfit.
We got these for. I didn't. You know, it's hard to be underdressed, but you do like to show up and look good.
Yeah.
So for the Citizen Boutique opening that we did in December, I came
remember.
in and I felt a little underdressed. So I got these at a L Train in New York, and they've been a great piece ever
Shoot,
since.
no way.
I think they're cool. I think a little wide leg is very vogue these days. And
Yes.
So
Well said.
it's fun. It's great. I see
Cool.
we have another
Oh my God.
guest waiting in
we
the
got
wings.
Mark here.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Do you even have to get up, or you just?
I'll just stand.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
I could sit. I put my knees on this.
I know.
thing.
I just kind of fall.
I
on.
have to. I'm like an elementary. I'm like an elementary school.
This is
You all
fun.
put small next to John.
Wow, we got Mark here.
How you doing, man?
This is exciting. Okay.
Well, make sure my phone's on silent.
Oh yeah. That's
You know,
probably
the
going
fan base keeps. You know.
off. It must be going off like crazy right now.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
What's up, brother?
Good to
How you
see
doing,
you, Mark.
man? Good to see you, man.
Good. How do you feel after the show now?
I am relieved,
Yeah.
tired, happy. The whole mix of emotions, I
Is
guess.
the adrenaline riding off, or
Yeah. Friday and Saturday, the adrenaline was like, yeah. But now it's like, okay, let's go home and
Yep.
figure everything out when we get there.
Oh
and
yeah, you're gonna get all those waves now.
Yeah. Record all the sales and then just do everything else that we got to do and stuff. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, but it's cool. It's cool. I
From
dig it.
where I saw it, and I could only see most of the show upstairs.
Yeah.
You were so crowded the whole
We
time.
were busy.
Yeah.
We were really busy, yeah.
What were people saying?
Just, it's always, I guess this is our 5th wind-up show.
Okay.
So it's always the same thing. It's like, they want to meet me, which just boggles my mind.
No, I can see why.
Yeah. But getting hands-on with the watches, with the Islanders, and because you just like your stuff, you really can't see them anywhere, so they'll have to pick it up, play with it, see it.
Yeah.
Whether they buy it or not, it doesn't matter. It kind of just gives them an impression, and they, gives them a better idea of what everything's all about. And then obviously the transaction, you can buy it. A lot of people want to wait for a wind-up just so they can buy it from us and then wear it out of the show and stuff. So kind of really cool.
Yeah. Do you see a lot of familiar faces when you go to these shows?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we try. I'm like, you were here last year, right? You're really familiar. And they're like, yeah, I was. And yeah, so
They must
definitely.
light up.
Yeah, most people do. And then sometimes it's like, you were here last year. And they're like, no, I wasn't. And I'm like, oh, whoops. Well, there was one guy. I was like, you were here last year. And he goes, no, you saw me in Chicago. And I said, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm in LA visiting my mother, but I came up to San Francisco to see you.
Wow.
I was like, wow, hey.
And these
Or
are
to see the
people
show.
coming to see you specifically. Yes,
Some are
it's a
here to
big show.
see me specifically, and some just, I guess, hear from my social channels that I'm here, and that the show is happening, and that you're here, and whoever else is here. And I try to promote the show as best I can, obviously for my own interests, but just from the show in general to get people to come by.
I was watching your YouTube channel. I was at late at night. I was getting ready for bed, and there was one part where I was like, oh, Mark just said the show, and then come see Jonathan from Brew Watches as well. And I kind of screamed out loud, and I was like to my girlfriend, I'm like, hey, I rewinded. I was like, look, and I turned up the volume. I'm like, look what Mark just said.
Yeah, definitely. Because
That's cool.
I go through the names. I start, I'm on camera. It's not scripted, and I'm just shouting out the names. I'm just going to shout out the names that I know and people that I respect. And then if I didn't mention them, it doesn't mean I don't respect them. But dude, I see Brew. I'm like, yeah, Jonathan.
There's a lot of names. Yeah.
Oh,
And I had people that come to me, oh, this is the 8-bit. That's so cool. Mark has the same watch.
I do.
So that was really cool.
Love that one.
Thanks,
Bought it
Mark.
in New York from you in 2022.
Yeah, you were that person at the show saying, I would only buy in person.
Yeah, I was so excited.
Yeah,
it was
dude.
totally awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next?
Oh my God. More releases.
Yeah.
More fun.
Okay.
More of the same. Yeah, I'm just, we're pumped to kind of keep doing it, kind of keep rotating it out, and there'll be new releases as soon as I can get back and film them and do stuff. And then the end of Memorial Day weekend, we'll have some more stuff coming out, and hopefully an easy-ish summer with release schedule-wise, and then we'll jump back into it when the fall hits.
What's like your busiest time, or is it just always a constant?
No. It's the Cyber 5. It's Thanksgiving Day to Cyber Monday.
is our total insanity week. We'll sell more in 5 days than we do in a whole month.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's the big
Cool.
time. That's like the Super Bowl for us.
But you're prepped for it. You're ready.
Oh,
You
no,
see it
no,
coming.
I got everybody coming, and everyone's working overtime, and
Yeah.
as bad as I feel about it, we're all there. Then, I almost said Good Friday, Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Where everyone's there,
It is
and
a
we're all
Good
just
Friday.
packing watches. It is a Good Friday.
Your team loves you so much. They admire you.
stop.
And I think that also goes to you and the person that you are.
Dude, I love everybody.
You're so supportive, though.
Yeah, definitely. I love everybody that works for me, and I know they all give it their all, and everybody puts the company first, and for the most part, and I really appreciate that. And it's kind of tough as a business owner, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the business is here.
Always.
I don't know where family goes. It's
It gets foggy, but
it's really big. So I just for people that kind of same values, same morals, and the same customer outlook and stuff and support, and that's just super important.
Yeah.
Kind of like my moral. I don't have to teach my morals onto other people because they're all already good people. So it's kind of awesome.
but from afar, I try to take notes. I'm like, how's Mark? He's doing a great job leading the team, letting the team be independent.
Oh, definitely.
You guys are just so
there's
strong.
no employee handbook.
No, and that's okay.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, everyone's well vetted
before
they come to work. So
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
What's the latest on flying these days?
Oh my goodness. So let's see. I've been on flying hiatus since the end of the year, since the end of 2023.
Okay.
Herniated a disc in my back, a couple of bulging discs. So I've been out of the cockpit since then. I'm going to try to get back in, starting again in May, this month, and then I'd like to try to wrap it up by the end of the summer, fall time frame.
And is flying for you something that is like
Something I always wanted to do.
And still, I mean, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of prep.
Yeah. It's a lot of
pressure.
mental work. It's a lot of there's studying, which is kind of
But
crazy.
do you feel free when you're actually doing it?
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome.
It's so the feeling of taking off just never gets old.
Yeah.
And I've done it at this point hundreds of times. It just literally never gets old.
Feel comfortable yet, or is it still? Like,
I've soloed, so I've flown by myself. So do I feel comfortable? I mean, I did it and I lived, and I've soloed 5 hours now, so I kind of feel confident.
5 hours. Now.
Yeah, I didn't really tell my wife when I was soloing, so because she was, she didn't want to hear about it.
It's too much on the
When
mind.
I was done, I said, by the way, I soloed.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it,
less
right?
pressure on everybody.
Either hear about it from me or hear about it on the news. One of the two is happening.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think that's the best way to approach it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
How about you? How was the show for you?
This show was exhilarating.
Yeah?
Like, we've done many shows, right?
Of course, yeah.
Whether it was wind up or just in general.
Yeah.
And like I say, I've never experienced this much traffic, but it's not just lots of people.
Right.
Positive people.
Yeah.
They know all your watches.
Sure.
At least I've experienced this. I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
They know all your watches. They know all your releases. They know when things have been available, what's missing.
Yeah. Or when's it's coming back?
Yeah.
You know it.
Small, down to the millimeter, literally.
Yeah.
And that gets me so drived up. But even more so, unfortunately, we live behind the screen all too often.
Yeah.
This makes me feel a little bit more responsible to do a better job.
Okay.
Like, we're doing a good job.
Yeah, of
it's
course.
great.
Right.
But it makes me want to live up to do even more.
Got it.
Seeing the faces behind the watches,
Yeah.
right? So,
I get it.
Tom and Joe, whoever owns that watch,
Yeah.
and they're super pumped up, they
Right.
own it. It's like, okay, well, I got to make sure
Right now,
that I'm delivering.
now that you have a face to put with the name, it's like, oh man, I want to make that person happy.
Yeah, and it's never an idea of like ever even taking a shortcut. It's wanting to do more and then like exceed expectations.
Right, definitely. Yeah.
So I feel like those responsibilities have kicked up even more
Okay.
after the show.
So you're getting more work.
Yeah, I feel like I'm giving myself more work after this.
Yeah. Maybe you need to rethink that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to keep more consistency with my products because like when you explain the lines and the prices and stuff,
Right.
that makes me think, I'm like, it's kind of like a fine dining menu. If it's easy to digest for the audience, it's also easy for me to digest as I
Right.
explain it and
Right.
evolve it.
It also gives you a new appreciation, I guess, from the customer standpoint, a customer's eyes when you're explaining the whole lineage and everything, how it started and where you're going, and maybe
yeah.
gives you a better vision of where you want to be. And
The questions they ask, they say, why does this have a date window, but this doesn't?
Right.
And I'm like, well, in the moment, that was just like an organic feeling. But
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I should have like more of a streamlined process
Yeah.
of how things change over time.
Right.
But they ask these questions like I don't want to say like children, but they ask all the how-tos and whys
Right.
to the highest degree, and you're
Right.
like, oh boy.
Yeah, they're genuinely interested.
Yeah.
It's not a fake interest, because who would come here if you weren't genuinely interested in
Yeah.
watches?
Why this color?
Right.
Mark, why this red on
why?
this one little part?
Right.
And if you
Oh
don't
my
have a
goodness.
real reason,
those decisions that you make, it's like,
Sometimes
and
you
sometimes
don't.
you make them so far in the back, it's just like, I don't know.
sometimes it's just this. Yeah, it was a feeling.
It was the
gut
way
choice.
I woke up. I felt like red was the right color.
Yeah.
If I did it again, I'd make it orange. Right, yeah.
And then so it's like, all right, next time should I have? And now sometimes I'm over calculating when I'm designing. I'm
Right.
like, all right, well,
Right.
what's the reason for this color?
Right.
But then I'm like, you know what? Sometimes it's okay to go with your gut. You know best.
Sure, absolutely.
Do it.
Yeah.
But overall, this show's it's awesome. I can't
Kick-ass.
wait to go back. Not today, maybe in a couple days. Start sifting through emails to
Yeah.
see. I think I made a bunch of promises on my notes.
I got those.
Like I could try to make this. I could try to do that.
I got those promises.
So we
I
got
got stuff I got to ship and stuff like that.
We gotta go through
bracelets
the-
for various people, rubber straps. People come in with purchases that not even Islander related.
No.
And they're like, oh, I bought this from you, but I really need a new clasp. I'm like, just I'll
let
take
me
care of it when
know.
I get back, and I'll take care of it.
So
yeah.
the list of favors, the wish list.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in the spreadsheet. It's all in the side column. It's like, Mark, do this. Mark, do this. Mark, do this. I have all my little notes.
Yep.
So I'm ready.
So it's the favor list. That,
Yeah, exactly.
As long as we get it out this week.
I figure I give myself the whole week.
Yeah. Then
Although
we're
I
good.
know me, I'll do it all on Monday. I'll be back in the office tomorrow morning.
You're very systematic. How are you so disciplined?
Crazy.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're
Crazy.
very
I'm
good.
giving you crazy eyes.
Yeah. You're very good.
Yeah, red eye tonight, and then home, quick change up, and then I'll hit the office for a couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good feeling, right?
Yeah.
It's just like little feeling of content that you got the office checked for a minute.
Yeah, and then I can, exactly, you know how it is. Yeah, definitely. Just make sure it's like not on fire.
I knew you were going to say that.
won't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, without a doubt. And look at the paperwork on my desk that I got to go through now. And stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess we're wrapping up soon.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
They're packing. I hear it, baby.
All right. Well, I got to say this. We'll get it on camera until our collaboration hits. What would that look like?
I don't know. I have an idea.
You have an idea?
I do. Well, I mean, I have an idea of the theme, but you're the genius, so.
No. Collaborative for a reason.
Okay.
So we'll have to trade notes.
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Percolate some. Oh.
We're gonna look at this.
We'll brew something
X
up.
amount of months or year, whatever, back
Yeah.
and be like, that's where we talked about it for the first
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, cool deal, though.
Mark,
Thank you.
So good to
I appreciate
see you.
it. Thank you so much.
Get home safe because you're flying
will.
out before me, and then
Yeah.
let's wind up 2024 San Francisco.
Bye.
Dinner time.
Dinner time.
You want to do dinner?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Cool.
They're finishing up. Do you know where we can eat around? Are there places in this venue to eat?